Hello, happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here today. My name is Lori DeGroot from Loritamarie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Calgary, Alberta. And I come here live on Thursdays so I can share fun tips, techniques, ideas, inspiration with you to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects. I hope you have been having, I'm talking too fast. I hope you've been having a good summer so far. We just celebrated Canada Day on Tuesday, and so that was a lot of fun. It's always weird to have a holiday like smack in the middle of your week. And then try to get back into like work mode and stuff like that. It's been kind of funny. So we got Tuesday off, we had a barbecue, it was like a lot of fun. And now we have to get back to business, right? And happy Independence Day to all our American friends tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, so that's fun. And if you know anything about Calgary, you might have heard about the Calgary Stampede, and it's like its own holiday into itself. So that starts tomorrow as well. And so Calgary kind of like goes into Stampede holiday mode for the next 10 days. So that's always a lot of fun too. My favorite part is now I don't go as often as I used to when I was younger, but I love a good free pancake breakfast. So that's one of the big things is that all over the city, there's always free pancake breakfasts. So I will definitely go check one out. That's always fun. And yeah, lots of good times. So I hope you guys are having a great summer. I wanted to share one way to celebrate summer is with my Summer Splash Craft Bash. And this is the class that I have open for registration right now. And I have two exciting choices. So there's a mini album choice and a fun fold card choice. And you can choose one or the other, or you can do both if you want to do both, and you'll save a little bit if you do both. And if you're local, we'll come together and make the projects together. It'll be a lot of fun. If you are in Canada, I'll put a kit together for you with everything cut and prepped for you, and you'll have a lot of fun putting the projects together that way. Or there's always a tutorial option where I'm going to do a full step-by-step video tutorial with a PDF with the supply list and the dimensions and photos and stuff like that. So you can always check out my classes. I have a link in the comment or in the description of this video for classes, check out what's going on, and you can always purchase my past tutorials. I put up my past tutorials, and you get the PDF and the video tutorial, and then you can make it on your own time as well. Let me show you the sneak peeks of the projects. The first one features, let's show the paper first. So I don't know if you've seen the on-the-go DSP, which is like fabulous colors. Which way am I want to go here? So like Shy Shamrock and Summer Splash, and it's fun kind of travel themed. And so what we're going to do is make a cute little mini album that's like a little summer book. Look, adventure starts here. So the idea behind it is it's like a perfect size to add in a few photos. It could be a trip that you did. It could be just a fun thing in the summer, or just like a recap of the summer, or it doesn't have to be summer related at all, to be honest. So, so it's going to open up and have pockets. It's not quite all put together, so I'm not going to open it up, but it's got all the pages inside, and we're going to learn how to make it and then decorate it up on the inside. And the stamp set I'm featuring is this cute one here that's in the scrapbooking stuff, the Weekend Adventures. And let me just put this down here. And then the second project are fun folds. So there are 3 fun folds, and this one, they're not like crazy elaborate, just simple fun folds, but they all feature the Floral Impressions Suite Impressions, a balloon bundle. So that's going to be a lot of fun. This pretty floral paper is kind of the star, and each card has like a different color theme and a different fun folds. So Summer Splash, Craft Bash, all the information's on my website, loritamariecrafts.ca. So the next thing is let's get crafting. So on July 1st, Stampin' Up! Released a full new line of online exclusives, which are so fun. Don't forget to go check out the online exclusives. And there's a good variety of things. There's like Christmas, Halloween, kind of summery fall. I don't know, the Pears Suite. That's what I'm going to be focusing on today, Painterly Pears. And there's some great bundles in there and some standalone products like the sunflower embossing folder. Go check it out. It's so cool. So there's a lot of great things, online exclusives. There's always 2 new kits every month. Those are released. One's a Halloween one, one's a really pretty birthday one, where you can make really beautiful birthday cards. And so you can just, I think I have a link in this description for online exclusives as well, but you can always find them at stampinup.ca. So I'm going to get down to the desk here, and today we're going to be talking about the Painterly Pears DSP. Yeah, Debbie, it is so pretty. Debbie was at my class yesterday and we saw it in person, and it's some things you got to see in person, you know? Let me just pull it over and we'll point down to the desk here. Okay, so look at this paper. At first I was like, pears, I don't know, but then I kept seeing it online and I was like, okay, I'm going to just go for it. But I was not prepared for how lovely it is. So let me go through, I'll go through all the pages for you so you can see, and I would love to know which one's your favorite. So I love this one. This is Petal Pink in the background. I'm going to show you all the coordinating colors too. This one we'll be focusing on today because this one we can cut out all these cute pears. This one is a little more vibrant with the Secret Sea background. And then we've got this one. We're a little like, now the pears are a little more orange. And look at this one. Vibrant with Darling Duckling. And this is one of those like fun, you could use it as a scrapbook page, or, you know, you cut it up and use it as a card front. So that's really awesome. And let me show you the other side of the paper. So you've got your coordinating papers here. So some have like this grid pattern, leaves. It's a grid pattern again. You kind of see that. A floral detail. This one's really pretty with the flowers. And I love these colors here. So that is the designer series paper, Painterly Pears. And that's the name of the suite. And the coordinating colors are so pretty together. I love gathering the colors and seeing how they look together. So we've got Mossy Meadow, Secret Sea, Petal Pink, Old Olive, Darling Duckling, and Basic Beige as a fun neutral to mix in there. And isn't that a fun combination? I really love it. So I made 3 quick cards, and I just want to show you. I'm not going to make them today, but we're just going to show you how you can just use the DSP and make simple cards just by adding a sentiment and using the DSP. So I put this on Instagram yesterday and I was curious what everyone's favorite color was, and so far pink is the winner. So I'd love to hear which one is your favorite. But I love those colors. So let's get to making our couple cards today. So here's the bundle. The bundle is called Perfectly Pears, and we're going to be focusing mostly on the dies today. The cards that I make today will turn into a kit that I'll be using for my classes in August. And so I'm more focusing on the dies, but I'll be sure to make some cards that are just with the stamps as well. And so you've got your pear images, of course, which match with dies. Then we've got some great sentiments here. Congratulations, a good friend is a gift. Hello, thank you, friend, to mix in there. And you've got a couple little label dies and a couple other ones. So let's show you how these all play out. Or not all, but we'll get there. So we've got, let's see. We've got the leaf here. So it's kind of like, looks like this. We're going to use that today. Then there's like the little hatch mark one, which is kind of like a fun little detail to add in the background. And then I love these kinds here. So you've one die cuts out 5 little itty bitty flowers. And so I was going to pick up more than one, just got one. So just cut them all out, have a little stash, and then they're ready for when you use them. And then this one here cuts out a grouping of flowers all at once. So that's what that one looks like. So I love the variety. And then, of course, we've got the outlines of the stamps plus the DSP. So check this out. So this is that page that I showed you earlier with all the pears, and it matches perfectly with the dies, which I love. So I'm going to be using these on our cards today. I've gone ahead and cut all mine out already just to save us time, but I want to show you how they line up. So this one, I mean, it lines up perfectly with the little pair of pears. Pair of pears. We have this one that lines up perfectly with the little stem and leaves that go with the larger pear. We obviously have the full-size pear. And these little pink flowers even cut out. So you just gotta turn it till it makes sense. Let's pull that up for you. So then you can cut out those pink flowers too. So we're going to be using all of these images on our cards today so that you can see how it all plays out. So let's start with the first one. And I wanted these to be pretty simple layouts. They're not complicated, but you'll see that the paper and the pears, you know, they don't need a really fussy card to really stand out. So I'm going to be using Basic Beige as my base. It's hard to say. It's a lot of B's. Basic Beige. And then I'm going to use Petal Pink. And oh, I guess what I wanted to say is that sometimes when I'm starting with DSP and I'm not sure where to start, I cut out everything. So I cut out a whole bunch of the pears. I cut out the die cuts. And so I'm not deciding in the moment which pear to use, which die to use. Everything's kind of cut, do a variety of colors, so everything's ready to go. And then I always start with my most favorite pattern. So this is my most favorite one. And then it's just easy, right? Just start with your most favorite one, and then your creativity will go as you get used to working with the products. So Petal Pink, and a color buddy to Petal Pink is Calypso Coral. So it's not officially in the DSP, but you can see that it looks really good together. So Calypso Coral is a good addition to this paper. And so we've got the Petal Pink that's cut to 4 by 4.5. We've got the Calypso Coral. We're going to line it up on the left edge here. So it is cut to, I feel like I still cut this. I think I got my dimensions wrong. I'm going to have to cut that again. I'm going to check this one. It wasn't supposed to have so much room on the side. And I think it's supposed to be 3 5/8. I must have done 3 3/8. So 3 5/8. Let's cut that together. I'm going to have to grab a piece of Calypso Coral. Good thing all my paper is just lined up behind me here. So 1, 2, let's do 3 5/8 by 4 1/8. Yes, that was my problem. Okay. And then the DSP, I want to cut to 3.5, which already is, by 4. Okay, so let's start putting these on with our seals. We'll start with the Petal Pink. I love Petal Pink. It's one of my favorite colors. It just looks so good with everything. So we are going to center this on the card this way, but butt it up against the edge or the fold. So you could fold your card first if you want to make sure that it's going to line up, right? Then we'll grab the Calypso Coral. And we're going to line that up on the left edge, but then leave a bigger border on this side. Then our pretty DSP. And we'll line that up too. All right, so that's the base of our card. And then to add a pear, so you want to cut out your pears. So I just want to come back to our pears here. So there's actually 2 color tones of the pears. So this one is a bit darker with the greens, and this one has a little bit brighter, like probably a little more of that Darling Duckling in there. And so for this one, I wanted to use the brighter pear. So this one actually was this one here, right? So it's a little bit brighter. And then for the second card, I'm going to go with a bit darker pear. But to make it like not get totally lost, we're going to put a little strip of DSP, and it's just the back side of this same pattern. And we're going to put it on here. And so this is cut to 4 by 1, and I'm just going to make a banner at a one end. So I just kind of go in the center, snip it up a little bit, like maybe 1/2 inch, and then I go from the end, from the corner to where I snipped. So it looks like this. And then I just meet it up. I don't measure. I don't be too fussy about it. you know, it's a handmade card after all. It doesn't have to be absolute perfection. So, and then I'm just going to put this down with seal as well. And same thing, we're going to line it up on this edge, maybe about a 1/2 inch from the bottom of the DSP there. And that just kind of gives us some grounding spot to put our little pear. And so I've cut out that fun, like, hatchmark die in Darling Duckling. So this is one of our new in colors. And it looks really good in this paper. And you can put glue on the back if you want, or I think I'm just going to put a little bit of seal down and just stick it in it. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. And then I want to show you the embellishments because we're going to work in some of those into this card too. So this Suite Collection has ribbon and gems. So this is the ribbon. Isn't that pretty? It is mossy meadow and gold. And that side's like way more gold if you want to use that. So pretty. We just need a little bit for this card. It's about 4 inches. So it's just called Mossy Meadow and Gold 1/4 inch trim, I think is what it's called. And I find that a piece of tear and tape just works the best to put this on. If you can get it going here. So then I just stick it right in there, and you can use your something pokey or your take your pick tool to get the backing off. And then I'm just going to fold this in half into the tear and tape. So that's kind of all stuck there. And then the pear is going to hide all the messy parts. So now let's add our stem first. So remember, I cut out the matching stem that goes with it. So these are all cut out with the dies. Super easy. If you just have the mini, this whole set will fit into your mini Stampin' Cut Emboss machine as well. And I'm just going to put the stem into a glue dot. And then I found it looks good if it comes down a little bit more than you might think. And then we'll put some dimensionals on the back. Okay, so we'll just put a bunch on. And then I think I'm going to use a little bit of the side here for my leaf. So has anyone checked out the online exclusives yet? Go check them out. Let me know if you've got a favorite thing or something that caught your eye. Are you a Christmas in July person? Because there is Christmas stuff. Some people love that, right? I can't get into it. I'm a summer girl. I love summer. And so I'm not really into making Christmas cards in July. Hence why I'm playing with pears right now. I love summer. I want to just embrace it, and winter will come when it comes, right? It'll come too soon anyway. Then we're going to layer up these pretty little flowers, also from the DSP. I mean, this is great, right? Like, this is why I'm calling these simple but elegant, because we didn't really have to do too much. You spend a few minutes, you cut out your paper, you cut out the shapes, and you've already got a really pretty card with little fuss. It's going to go this way. Hold it up. And then we just need a sentiment, right? So any of the sentiments are going to look awesome. So let's show you. They have there's 2 label dies. And they're kind of teeny tiny, but they do fit. So the congratulations does fit on the big one. And then you've got the hello, thank you, and friend that will fit on, well, thank you will need to be on this one, but hello and friend will fit on the little guy. You can definitely heat emboss. I'll show you my original sample. I heat embossed white onto old olive and put that on. But just for this class, I'm going to just stamp it because that'll just be a little bit faster. And maybe you're not into heat embossing and you don't want to fuss with it, then you can see what it looks like if you just stamp. So you can do Mossy Meadow or Old Olive. I might do Mossy Meadow. I always like to do my sentiments and whatever is like the darkest, richest color that I'm working with. So I've got the thank you, and this is really teeny tiny, so I'm going to lean over. Okay, so is it gonna, doesn't want to focus on it. Whoop, there you go. Thank you. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm gonna put a mini dimensional on the one end that's hanging off. And some seal on the other. Pick that up. And then we'll just layer that up. Yeah, that looks good too in the white. So either or, I'll show you the sample in a sec. We've got to add our gems. So the embellishments, the gems that go with this, they're so pretty. They're called, thought I could remember, low profile sparkle dots. So you've got two sizes of each color, and we've got Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, it's a little hard to tell in this light, and Secret Sea. And so really pretty. And I am going to use the Darling Duckling. And I just realized I always grab from the middle, and I don't know why I grab from the middle. Do you start in the middle or on the ends? Does that say something about my personality? Okay. And I find the low profile dots, like you need your take your pick tool. You need something to work with to get them off there because they're low profile. There's nothing to grab. And I'll put this one over here. You got to have a little sparkle, right? And there is our first card. So fun. So here's the original one with the embossed sentiment. So I love embossing. I do it almost every card because it's just an easy way to step up your card. And it just kind of looks a little more, I don't know, professional or stepped up, dressed up with when you heat emboss it. Okay, so let's do our second one. And it's gonna be another fun layout for you to try with the pears. So I'm going to use a basic beige card base again. And then I'm going to use Old Olive just as a mat. And this is like 1/8 of an inch mat. So this cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And so we'll just go ahead and put this on. And so this just has a little mat with that basic beige just to kind of ground the card. And then this time I want all the focus to be on the pears as opposed to the DSP. So I used a more like, I don't know, what they call like the B side of the designer series paper. And so this was that pattern that was like the scrapbook page. And so I just made sure, because I'm using the back, let me just show you. So I cut it and then I cut another strip and then I used the one that didn't have that many pears on it so that I could still use this on a different project, if that makes sense. Okay, so I want a piece of petal pink to go with it. This is 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then I want my DSP to be 3.5 by 5 1/4. I just need to cut off a little strip there. So I'll put the petal pink on first. And then we'll put our DSP on. See, I didn't waste any of that pretty pattern. I just got the white piece on the back. So I'm going to line it up with this side first with that 1/8 of an inch mat. Obviously the petal pink can be cut to kind of any width that you want, but 1.5 is just easy to work with. Okay, so we have that, and now we are going to create a little trail of pears coming down here. So I cut out the leaf die, so this one here, in Old Olive, and I cut it out 2 times. And I think I will use liquid glue, and we'll put these on. We had class last night here, and all our liquid glue was like oozing out the top. It was so hot here yesterday. Not as hot. I know other places have been crazy hot. And we just had one day of hot, so we can't really complain too much yet. But It was above 30 Celsius here, which is hot for us. So it was hot for the glue too. So I'm going to put one down at the bottom. And then we'll grab the other one and kind of try to line up the stems a little bit. This will be hidden by pears. And then we'll put the other one at the top. And then again, from that DSP, I just went ahead and cut out all my pieces. So I wanted 2 of the little clusters of pears, 1 full-size pear, the flowers, and the stem again. So we'll put the stem on our pear. Get that ready. And we're going to put on, trying to decide what to do. Okay, I think I'm going to put this on first. So then I have this piece of Mossy Meadow that is 3 by 1.5, and this is where we're going to put our sentiment. So you can heat emboss it, which I'll show you in a sample in a second. And so you would want to heat emboss it first and then put it on. But I'm going to try just stamping again in green and adding it on top after. So it'll be a little bit different. Just to show you another option. So it's going to line up on the edge with the DSP and not totally in the middle, a little lower than middle. Okay, and then we'll cover up this side with the pears. So we're going to start with our little pears and just add them on with seal. So we'll put one at the top, one down here. Then we'll put our larger pear on with dimensionals. And just going to grab a little one for that guy. Peel all our backings off. Come on. And then we'll kind of center that over top so everything's a little overlapping. I think that's about right. And then just like before, I'm going to put these little flowers on. Just to add some more pink in there. And then I thought it would be fun to cut out those little flowers. So I've got 2 clusters, and these are in petal pink. And we're going to tuck these in too. So this is an added layer. If you want to keep this card more simple, then you don't need to add these kind of smaller details. Little glue goes a long way. And then I'm just going to like kind of tuck one in up there. And tuck one in down there. So it's subtle, right? It's just like a little bit. And then I thought it would be fun to use Wink of Stella to make it a little bit sparkly. So Wink of Stella is a glitter brush. Works like a paintbrush. You got the glitter in here and you just squeeze to get it going. You might want to have a scrap paper just so you don't blob like right on your project. I kind of did that yesterday where I got like big blobs. And I'm going to add it to the little clusters of flowers. Mix them a little darker, a little sparkly, just to give some contrast. And then why not add them to this one too? So you can just brush it on. It never really shows in video. I'll hold it up in a second, but in person, you can always see the sparkles. So you just kind of brush it on. And okay, just a tiny, you can't hardly see it, but I promise in person it's sparkly and cute. And then we need a sentiment. So I just got a strip of white here and I'm going to stamp A Good Friend is a Gift. And I'll do Mossy Meadow again. And I'm going to stamp it kind of to one end. This is like a 3/4 inch piece of white, which is just perfect. And then I'm just going to kind of cut it to size, which is about like 2.5 inches. And we'll add some seal on the back. And then tuck that in. Oh, I kind of like this actually. That looks great. Ooh, see, sometimes you just change one little thing. And then we need the gems, right? So I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. We'll just put one up there. See if I can get them to come off. There we go. The big one, and then a little guy. Yep, the yellow would look good on this one too. All right. And here is our second pear card. Such fun paper. Let's show you the original with the Heat Emboss sentiment. So both good options, right? Bring back the other one. And we have an awesome little set of pear cards. Fun. Let me just bring you back up. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Okay. So, thanks for hanging out. The Painterly Pears Suite Collection is part of the new online exclusives collection of products that are up on Stampin' Up's website. And it's so pretty, right? So the suite is the paper, the bundle, the ribbon, and the gems. And you can buy it all together, or you can buy all the individual pieces, whatever works for you. Obviously, if you just get the paper, then you can cut the paper, cut the pears out of the DSP and have a lot of fun with that as well. So thanks so much for watching. I am taking a couple weeks off for summer, but I'm going to be posting on my blog and on Instagram, so you're still going to see me around. And then I'm going to be back. I think it's the next 2 weeks anyway. No, I lied. I'm here next week, and then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. It's like, I know. We'll figure this out. There's 5 Thursdays in July, so I don't always do 5 Thursdays. So just stay tuned to my website and to Instagram, especially. I'm posting on there, and you can see what's going on. So thanks so much for hanging out, you guys, and I will be back. Take care.